It's not over yet. It's a comedy. That's what it is. That don't make sense. Hey, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It might be August 6th, but let's hop into these August new releases. Later than usual. What's new? I don't have that many books. Again, these books are books that have caught my eye, right? So it's not every single thing that's been released so far or going to be released. Starting with August 6th, these books have just come out today. Second Tide's the Charm. When two marine biologists with a complicated history are thrown together on a shark study broadcast over social media, it's anything but smooth sailing. Not really a fan of Second Chance. However, I feel like it won't be as bad because it just says that they have a complicated past. I feel like when it comes to Second Chance, there's two different kinds. The kind that okay, that's getting on my nerves. Hold on. You have the obvious second chance where the people in the relationship were once in a relationship and then something happened and then they get back together. And not a fan of that second chance. But then there's also a second chance that technically doesn't really count. I'm just saying it because some authors promote their book as that, and it's like that's exactly what it is. People knowing each other at a time in their past, they move apart from each other, and then they actually get that second chance to be together. It's weird, but that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from it. Not necessarily that they used to date. In the Shadow of the Fall, a cosmic war reignites, and the fate of the Orisha lie in the hands of an untried acolyte in this first entry of a new epic fantasy novella duology. Sounds a little bit out of my comfort zone. I know that I've been reading a lot more fantasy lately, and all of the fantasy books for sure that have released so far this year have been really good. I don't really know about all the different kinds of fantasies, like urban versus epic versus, I don't know. But I feel like epic is a little more detailed maybe. I don't know. It is a duology and it is a novella, so it's not going to be that long anyway. The Truth According to Ember. A Chickasaw woman who can't catch a break serves up a little white lie that snowballs in this witty and irresistible rom-com. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first Native author to get a trad deal, a traditional publishing deal. I could be wrong. I really need to look that up, but I remember, I think maybe sometime last year, hearing about this book and this author, but I also don't want to lie, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Love a good rom-com. The Dead Cattail Assassins. The dead cattail assassins are not cats, nor do they have tails, but they are most assuredly dead. This is a brand new world and a fantastical city full of gods and assassins. I even put the longer synopsis on here, but I'm still not going to read it because there really wasn't that much information in the synopsis besides what I just read in these little 1 or 2 lines. It sounds action-packed, and I love that. The Friend Zone Experiment. From the outside, Renee's life looks perfect. She's 30 and beautiful, runs a women's clothing company, and is dating a hot Taiwanese pop star. But Renee is lonely. Estranged from her family in Singapore, she practically lives at the office, and now she's just been dumped by her supposed boyfriend. She gets a call from her father that is retiring and says that he is considering her as the next CEO of the family business, but can she cooperate with the brothers who drove her out of Singapore? It's not over yet. That same night, she runs into her first love who broke her heart during university. They spend a wonderful night together, but he is pursuing a dangerous vengeance for his family. In the light of day, is there any hope for the two of them? Now that I'm reading this out loud, I wonder if he's gonna act against her family because, you know, he's pursuing a dangerous vengeance for his family. When I first read it, I kind of understood that he was going against his family, but it doesn't sound like that. August 13th, we have 1 book. Kisses, Codes, and Translations. Tan Lee finds himself embroiled in an unusual love triangle, all while trying to defuse a heist unravel a conspiracy and navigate the most complicated babysitting assignment ever in this YA novel. Not a fan of the love triangle trope. However, it says it's unusual. It might be a little more interesting and not as heart-pounding as I find other love triangles to be. That's why I don't like them. A little nervous just because it seems like this might have a lot going on in here. Heist, conspiracies, babysitting. August 20th. No clue how to say this. A banh mi for two. Hope I did not butcher that. In this sweet sapphic romance about two foodies in love, Vivi meets Lan while studying abroad in Vietnam, and they spend the semester unraveling their family's histories and eating all the street food. Very excited. I feel like I know of a lot of books that have food in it, but I feel like I haven't read that many. But this does remind me of a book that I just read, I think 2 months ago, in June maybe. I only find it similar because it's talking about food. Till Heist Do Us Apart, diamond necklaces, billionaires, mafia bosses, and student loans. It's all in a day's works for Simi and her ragtag heist crew in the next romantic comedy. Now, this is the second book in a series. I'm gonna go grab the first book. I have talked about this book many times, and typically when I do videos like this where I'm talking about a series or something, I'm talking about the next book in the series, I never really say the synopsis because I don't want to spoil it, but because I've already read this first book, I read the synopsis for the second one and it's very generic. It sounds honestly like the first one. Loved it. If you've seen my videos before, you know what I'm about to say. I gave this a 4.75. This is To Have and To Heist. The problem is it's also marketed as a rom-com. This is not a rom-com. I say this every single time I bring this book up. It's a comedy. That's what it is. There's 2% romance. I don't understand why this man is even on the cover like that. I understand the way that they met. Their interactions do play a part in the plot, but not enough for this to be considered a rom-com. I am excited to read the second book because I feel like there might be a little more romance, but I'm also prepared to go into it knowing that there could be a possibility that it ends up being like the first book. I just doubt it because I believe that it's a romance between these two people, which we've already met them in the first one. Love Requires Chocolate, a new romance series that's Emily in Paris meets a sisterhood of the traveling pants. Side note, I believe the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants came out in 2005 when I was like 6. But I saw this movie for the first time when I was 9, I want to say. I had a friend of mine. I slept over at her house and this was like a favorite movie of hers. And that's what we watched that night and I loved it. To this day, I think I've only ever seen it once. That one time. I still remember like Blake Lively being in it, America Ferrera, and some other people. In this first book, budding theater nerd Whitney Curry studies abroad in Paris, France, where she meets her match in a cute, aloof footballer. That don't make sense. Where she meets her match in a cute, aloof footballer? I'm gonna just say it this way. Where she meets her match, who is a cute, aloof footballer. I don't know what happened there. I don't really read a ton of sports romances. I've read a couple. And I do like them, so I'm excited to read this one. Prince of the Palisades. When a roguish prince goes to America to clean up his image after a horribly public breakup gone viral, he is supposed to be keeping quiet over there. He ends up having some kind of rendezvous with a pink-haired, film-obsessed hottie from that private school where he's currently enrolled at. Together with his entourage, a witty royal guard, future queen, who is his older sister, and a quirky royal liaison, Jaden's, that's the man, the MMC's name. Jaden's on a mission to turn things around and show his parents and his country that he's more than just a royal screw-up. If he doesn't prove that he's the prince that his country deserves, he may not be allowed home, but falling for a not-so-royal American boy has Jaden redefining what it means to be a leader. If he can be someone's Prince Charming just by being himself, maybe that's all it takes to win over a nation, or at least a prince can dream. Honestly, that second to last line if he can be someone's Prince Charming, yada yada yada. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. Last book that I have on here, which is August 27th, I have Amari and the Despicable Wonders. This is book 3 in the Supernatural. Hold on. If I ever have the books physically, I will always show it so that I don't have to edit it in here. But that book is the 3rd book in the Supernatural investigation series. I am not reading the synopsis for the 3rd book because I have not read the 2nd book yet to this day. I got this, I think, when it released. Maybe not the day of, but like that week. I will be getting to it soon. Maybe I can do a video where I'm completing series that I've started. I am getting to it soon. I will say Amari and the Night Brothers was one of my top 2 favorite books from 2022 or 2021. I don't need to be specific. Just believe me. This is kind of like a children's version of Men in Black, which I was a huge fan of as a kid. I'm excited. Well, that's not the book, but I'm excited to read the 3rd, and I think it's the final book. I was hoping that he was gonna do more. I'm super excited to read these books. Let me know down in the comments below if some of these are on your radar as well. If not, let me know what's been your favorite book thus far in 2024. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Bye.